All right, I am back with another update to my Salesforce developer series. I took a little bit of a detour today, as I do often. And today, this one is on external objects, and I think this is something that's way underutilized in Salesforce. A lot of orgs kind of balk at the idea of integrating data with other systems, but it's becoming more and more important. And this is something I'm actually working on for someone with a way more robust setup than this that I'm going to demonstrate today. But I did want to point out that this is something that's huge and has a lot of possibilities, especially when you think about the data cloud and integrating AI and doing analytics and just having a 360-degree view of your customer, or in this case, employees, since this is a job application app that I've been working on. But the first thing I want to do is point out that I did use the DynamoDB connection. So basically, I created an external object in Salesforce, and let's see if I have that in here. So here's the external object. Basically, it's just a few fields that map back to Salesforce. The idea is that, and this is a real world scenario that I've had before, where I've had to get the Workday ID from outside of an external system. In this case, we're using DynamoDB, but in the past it's been something similar, or it could be Workday. But in this case, obviously, AWS is probably going to be the source of truth in a lot of cases. Some people would like to think Salesforce is, but it's probably going to be AWS because there are multiple applications that are going to be worked in there. So we mapped this to an internal object, and basically, I couldn't run a trigger. Can't run a trigger on an external object in order to update that Workday ID onto the internal employee object. But what I did was I just ran a scheduled flow. And in the real world, what I'm actually doing is running a batch Apex. It's going to be a little bit more robust, and a few more fields are going to be updated, a few more conditions. But in any case, I ran a scheduled flow here just to demonstrate how it works. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a peek at what we have in DynamoDB. So here is a simple table that I have, and it also writes back from Salesforce. So in this case, the employee internal ID, this is an internal ID that maps to an internal employee record. So it also writes back. So the idea is that when someone is in here in AWS and they update a record, or a record is updated through some other automation, which is more likely, then this value will reflect in Salesforce. So I'm going to go ahead and create one, and then I'm going to demonstrate how it writes back. So let's do. So the employee ID is the email. I use the email because that's unique among everyone. And there are other things that can be used. It could be an Oracle ID. It could be a Workday ID. It could be a lot of different things. But I use the email because that's something that maps back to Salesforce, because that email is going to be found in Salesforce pretty easily. Okay, we're going to use the first name, and we'll call him Geo. That's just something I made up just now. So, and last name, we'll call him Geo Williams. And the other one is a numbers Workday ID, and I would probably use a text, but in this case I just wanted to use a different field just to make sure it mapped correctly and there were no issues. But I would normally use an ID normally use text for the ID, and there's the value there. So we're going to create this item, And so we just created this guy, Gio Williams, and we're gonna go check and see him in Salesforce. So let's go ahead and refresh. Oh, there he is. So Gio Williams is in here. I just created that record and it got in here and pretty quickly. Now the other thing I want to demonstrate is how it writes back. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add this employee here. So I'll go ahead and confirm that over here that Lauren Boyle, her employee internal ID record is empty. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and save it now, and pretty much instantly it gets written back and there's her ID. So that's just one of the ways I want to demonstrate external objects. I'm going to be doing a lot of work with this here in the near future in regards to the data cloud and how we can incorporate data from a variety of different ways. I'm also going to be working on a real estate application where I'm incorporating data from about 4 or 5 different places in order to get a 360-degree view of a property. So I'm going to be using, the property is going to be almost like, a customer, but in this case, we're going to be looking at a property and getting a full view of it. We're going to understand its history, its sale history, its current mortgage, the most recent sale amount, the current owners, some information about the current owners. So a lot of different things are going to be done. I'm really excited about some of the things that we're working on right now. And if you need any help with something like this, give me a call. Thanks a lot. You guys have a great day. Bye.